That's in the Apple AR headset. Oh, you mean the, what's it called? The Apple Vision? I mean, it's a novel little piece of tech. It's dreadfully overpriced, but I mean, that's just Apple for you. I mean, it looks cool, I guess. I don't have any strong opinions on it or anything. I like the idea of AR. But at $3,500, that's a complete overcharge. I think it's going to flop. I said that about the iPad too, though. I'm always wrong when it comes to Apple products. I thought the iPad was such a fucking stupid concept. Look how, I actually couldn't have been more wrong. So, I mean, maybe $3,500 is perfectly priced for an Apple product. I don't know. It just seems way too high to me. I've still never bought an iPad. I've never owned an iPad. I've never even considered getting an iPad. And I would never get this either. That doesn't mean it's gonna flop either. It seems ridiculous compared to an iPad. It seems very niche, and especially at $3,500, I don't see it being like a mainstay in a family household or anything. But again, I just never know when it comes to Apple. Like, conceptually it's cool, but I wouldn't get one. What does it do? Basically, think of it like VR. Well, it's definitely more like AR, but for the sake of gamers, think of it like VR, but you can do other things besides gaming and like like conferences with it. It's like a full built-in suite of different tools at your disposal. I mean, you can watch porn on VR too, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you can do that on the Apple Vision. True. Thanks, the resub Sylvans, Apocalyptic Nero, and Gucci. No, Microsoft isn't going to revive the HoloLens or anything. That would be kind of fucking wild if they tried. It's an IRL HUD. Less of an IRL HUD and more of like an IRL face laptop. Exit Tier 1, St. Laurent in the Prime. Chingwei and Resub Cosmic. You see the New York Times post about the government hiding UFO evidence from Congress? Oh, you're talking about the thing we were going over the other night on stream briefly with the non-human origin aircraft retrieval. I still haven't fully looked into that yet, so I don't know enough about it. High-ranking official is a whistleblower. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. It's like an actually very credible leak. Or really credible source for the leak. Am I going to play Amnesia? When it comes out, I'll try it. There's the Bits Gecko. Where would you go if you left Twitch? I'd probably try YouTube first and foremost, and then go from there. Like, one of the things we really want to do is take the MWL live, and I think that'd be really fun on YouTube. So I'd definitely, we can start transitioning over to talking about Twitch. But yeah, I would definitely want to try out YouTube. Maybe I'd try out Kick as well. Occasionally I'd stream on Twitch still, but the main one I want to try is YouTube, because I think a lot of the live stuff would be fun on YouTube as opposed to Twitch. YouTube chat though. Yeah, but that's what Truffle would be that's what Truffle would be handy for, is improving the YouTube chat. He did sleepy. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be kicked for a little bit. There is some unhinged shit on there, man. Some shit gets a little fucking wild on there. So YouTube would be the main one, but like I said, I wouldn't be exclusive on like any platform. I think there is no reason for platform exclusivity anymore. There's no reason for it on Twitch. There's no reason for it anywhere, to be honest. Unless you have a contract. Unless you have a contract. If you get a contract, then obviously the exclusivity makes sense. 100%. There's nothing wrong with that either. But like if you're just a streamer, no contract, there's no reason why you'd ever be exclusive on any one platform. It just doesn't make any sense. Thanks to tier 1. Cock and ball. Thanks to resub Jonas. Mood is getting banned on Twitch on purpose. As a bold play. He could just not use Twitch. But I mean, maybe it's a fucking hype stream. Because it's not impossible for Twitch to eventually get some sense back. Like maybe Amazon eventually gives a shit and starts fixing Twitch, like giving them actual resources to improve the platform, as opposed to just being completely hands-off and reluctant to open their pocketbook to Twitch. Like, it's not over for Twitch yet. It's just going in the direction that it will continue sinking. Thanks, resub. Ready, JMC, Blackout in the Prime. Oof. You see Messi going to your beautiful, despicable state? Oh, yeah, Miami got Messi. Fuck you guys, true. I did see that. Do you even consider Kick? Do I even consider it, what, like competition for Twitch? Absolutely. For anyone that's just starting streaming, I think you'd be silly not to, like, spread your wings across every platform. That includes Kick. It is inarguable that Kick has the best sub-split for their streamers, period. Fucking 95.5, nothing else comes close, right? It's a no-brainer to at least try it when you're starting a stream. So yeah, I think it's legitimate competition for Twitch. People are choosing to go there on their own, even without contracts. So yeah, it is competition. How do they even afford to do that? I would wager a guess that the way Twitch is able to, or the way Kick is able to do a 95-5 split is they are just investing in the future. So they're just taking all the loss up front in order to try and build an audience. It's the same way most companies start. They put all of the money up front load it to try and gain an audience. That would be my guess. I don't think they're, like, they say they're profitable. I don't know that. That seems very that seems a very, like, hard to believe considering the space. Maybe they are. I don't know, but to me, it just seems like they're investing entirely in getting an audience, and to do that, they need to get streamers. And to do that, offering a 95-5 split gets people excited to stream on there without any contract. That would be my guess. Yeah, plus they're backed by stakes, so they have a ton of money they can throw at it to just take the loss for a while. So that's my guess. That's how I view it. But I'm no expert. Thanks to the resub Nut, Nix, Supersonic, Silent, Sunships, and Water Guy, and Gurgle. That money's advertising for Stake. So I looked into that because I got curious. Stake doesn't advertise through Kick from what I've read. And from going on the platform, I've not seen any Stake advertisements on Kick. It seems like they are trying to separate it fully. But they do have a full gambling category where most people are playing on Stake. But I don't think they actually have Stake ads. At least not from what I've read or not from what I've seen. Like pre-roll ads is what I'm talking about. So I don't think they have any of that. I think they're trying to spin it off into something totally separate. Except for the slots category and all that. That's all Stake. That's everyone playing on Stake. Kick's pay cut is only to gather viewers. When it becomes really popular, they'll fall back to 70-30. Hot take, I don't think they'll ever fall back to 70-30. I think they'll be able to run 95.5 forever. No matter what metrics you look at, every streaming platform, their lowest revenue driver is subsplit. Subs do not make up the majority of platforms' revenue. I think Kick will probably always keep a 95.5, or at least something close. I don't think they'll ever actually go back on that because they don't really need to. Twitch does not need to be 50-50. It doesn't. From everything that you read, everything that is publicly available, sub money is the lowest category for these platforms' revenue. Is ads number one? Yes. Ads is number one. Thanks for resub Kenny in the Prime Heavy. The resub Prosciutto. And I've heard of Jacob's Ladder. I haven't watched that movie yet, though. The CEO is talking about the Twitch stuff right now. Really? Dan's on?
And we were updating the TOS and the contracts. And we thought, oh, well, let's provide some clarity here. And then, to be frank, as we wrote it, it was way too broad. And it was poorly done. And we messed up there.
It wasn't broad, though. You had an entire picture breakdown.
And how people interpreted what was written. As I go back and look at it, I was like, yes, I can fully understand the interpretation. There was a lot of detail, lots of pieces, and it wasn't clear about sponsorships and how important sponsorships are. And that created a great deal of angst in the community, and I really apologize for that because, again, I understand why there was the response like that. And it was easy to interpret that way. So for those, to be clear, we have completely pulled back the branded content policy.
But it's still there with the exact same language. What do you mean?
There. So I just wanted to be clear on that. I wanted to apologize. And like as I think Chaos Productions here is, how do you think this would impact LLCS, Super Smash tourneys, or the Streamer Awards? Exactly. Our intent, and when we wrote it, we weren't thinking that we were trying to prohibit the way those things are funded. That's an important part of content, but we'll add some words.
That's crucial then, because if you look at the policy, it is only sponsorships. If you go on their terms, it is literally saying, without any misinterpretation, that you may not, you, the streamer, may not, and then talking about the burned-in ads and all of that. It has nothing to do with ad networks like he's trying to clarify here. So it seems like he's on a totally different level than the actual policy that rolled out then. So this is kind of like what Lud was talking about, which I do agree with, that it was supposed to be for like what Stream Elements, I guess, rolls out with at-scale advertising that they can pump in through streamers. That seems to be like what they're targeting here, but that is not at all what the language reads. This is totally fucking different. So if that's not what they want, they've got to completely like actually rewrite that term, that whole section. What? The question was super simple. Like, why are you against simulcasting? And then this wasn't really an answer to that, talking about wanting them to invest in Twitch. And like how important it is to grow your brand. That doesn't really answer it. There's no reason why, for example, Ninja, who makes $0 from Twitch, is not an affiliate, not a partner, nothing. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to simulcast on Twitch and everything else like he has been. There's no reason to take that away. Or anyone else that does what Ninja does. There's really no reason for it. It doesn't make too much sense if you ask me. Thanks to the resub, Jakey, Sigmundo, and Hazel. Yes, there is money, but they don't make money off him. He costs money. Oh, I guess maybe. So I guess like to dissuade him from simulcasting, so he'll like maybe choose Twitch to be a partner again or something, I guess, or people that do that.
Look at it, but we're still very focused that our
I guess maybe
proposition, what we want to drive people to,
because he takes up he does cost money to host
experience, because I think that is our strength. So let me just see. Can you hear that?
No, you can't simulcast anymore, no matter what. Unless you're doing like
Yeah.
vertical platforms.
So on
Mobiles.
SCQ can you ensure that?
I will say one thing that I appreciate that he does. This is something I don't think Emmett ever did, the previous CEO. At least he goes live on Twitch to try and answer questions. So far, I don't think the answers have necessarily been super clear. Except for the previous one. Like, if he really is trying to say that the whole policy with sponsorship was supposed to be for ad networks as opposed to actual streamer sponsors, then they need to totally rewrite that term in the actual TOS. Because that's not how it reads. It literally specifies
Twitch,
you, like the
Backlash,
streamer,
Twitch is using
can't do these
miscommunication as an
things.
excuse to alleviate culpability. I will say one thing. A lot of people comment about folks at Twitch. You know, I've been here 3.5 years, about almost 4 years now. And I will say this about so many people, and this is one of the things that's so special about Twitch, is so many of the people that are at Twitch do bleed purple. They're members of the community. They're passionate about Twitch. They're as frustrated by us as people here. And I do think they are extremely dedicated and committed and care deeply about our creators, and that's why they're working there. And I appreciate what they do for that.
Then let them have a voice of the company.
So,
I have never had a bad experience with anyone I've ever talked to at Twitch. Like, for example, Pluto's a fucking angel. Pluto is not in charge of these decisions. In fact, only a month ago, Pluto wasn't even sure if he still had a job there because there's no fucking communication from the higher up at Twitch. So when they're like firing people, it's like a guessing game, right? So give the people who actually know the platform and care about it the power to actually make decisions or chime in on these meetings. Because he's right. There are tons of people at Twitch that legitimately care.
Continues to thrive over time.
100%. He's right.
Let me just see.
But they're not the ones that are making these decisions or have a real voice there, it seems.
Thank you for all the questions, by the way. There are a lot in here, and I can't get to all of them. And in fact, I don't want to spend all my time. I want to go back and forth. So this is what I'm going to do.
Thanks to the resub Fitz, Fang, and Chaos.
I am going to jump
Perseus,
into
and Fishy and
another
John.
song. And thanks for asking again. All right, I'm going to jump into another song, and then I'll just kind of go.
Oh, that's a smart play. Do some karaoke, get everyone DMCA'd in case they're tuning in. Galaxy Brain. I appreciate him at least going live to try and answer questions. I wish the answers were a little better. Yeah, so if the policy is supposed to be only against ad networks, you gotta completely fucking rewrite it. I think it's a load of baloney him saying that, like, you know, we're not gonna sneak anything in. I think that is very clearly wrong when you legitimately just snuck in the simulcasting thing. I didn't see any Twitch tweets about simulcasting or talking about, like, why this simulcasting rule is changing. They just kind of threw that in. I didn't know about it till I watched Ludwig's video, for example. Like, that's not something that they made very clear that was on the way. So, like, fucking Jump Scared Ninja and everyone else who simulcasts. Then, of course, there's now the new terms that you have to accept, or you go back to affiliate, and if you just let it terminate, you get charged $25. Like, there's a ton of things that came out of nowhere, right? Like, you literally did sneak some shit in, aside from just the branded content policy. And he also didn't answer that question when he was just directly asked, why are you doing that whole hoopla with simulcasting? So, not amazing, but there was an attempt. Jeepers. I agree simulcasting was snuck in, but simulcasting wasn't really something they allowed until last year. Yeah, and it was a big deal, right? Like, it's a big thing they allowed. And now they snuck in that it's no longer allowed, right? Like, you could have done more to talk about it or let people know it was on its way, instead of just drop it. Like, they still haven't really talked much about it. When he was directly asked during that stream, he kind of deflected on it and still never gave a clear answer. So I don't, like, it's not like they've really done much to explain. You know, we were just watching Dan's stream. That's what I'm talking about. We were just watching the CEO's stream. Ooh, that does sound pretty cool, Jay. That was the CEO of Twitch, Rizukiel. Thanks to the Bits band. The Prime mic. least he's listening to feedback. That's an improvement. So what I think the improvement is he's at least going live on the platform to try and engage with the feedback. Listening, I think, is a bit of a stretch, considering their tweet is contradicted by their actual terms right now. Something that he himself also recognizes. Like, I don't know if listening is necessarily the right word for it. But him being live on Twitch and interacting, I think, is a step in the right direction. He got cooked. Yeah, I heard Jokic. Wow. Yeah, I heard Jokic went fucking crazy. A fucking triple-double, right? 32, 20, 10 or something. Chat was spamming. Thanks, Resub, Mart, Pablo, and the bits, Aaron and Jason. They're testing who the community's loyal to? No, I don't think that's... I don't think that was the motive behind the policy change attempt. It really seems just completely off the mark. I don't think there was a whole ton of real thought put into the community when making it. I think the motive was trying to clarify language but didn't think about the reaction. If we're to... And I'll give the benefit of the doubt. If Dan is being completely honest about what the policy was aiming to target, then they have the absolute worst policy writing team of all time. Because the way the policy reads, even in its terms right now, is it specifies you, referring to the streamer, may not, and then going into like the ads, like burned in video ads, pre-recorded ads, pre-roll, mid-roll, all that. That has nothing to do with like ad networks or anything. There's nothing to tell you that it's only ad networks, right? It's the streamer, which is why it's so frightening as a streamer, because it can apply to you and literally does say you. Thanks, a resub asteroid. Yeah, it's still in the terms right now, which is what Dan said, that they need to rewrite it, and they need to rewrite it ASAP, if that really is what they're targeting, and not individuals or not tournament organizers and all that. Oh, I made a whole video about that, Jotun. Yeah, Overwatch 2 is in shambles. It's fucking tragic. Thanks, resub Jason. And the resub Miggy. Will you stay on Twitch? Like I've said for a while now, I plan on trying other platforms out once I'm able to. I really would like to. I don't think there's any real reason to be exclusive on any platform in general, unless there's like a contract or something that keeps you on one. There's no reason not to just try different content on different platforms. There's just really not. So yeah, when I'm able to, I'm going to try other platforms. Main one being YouTube. I really want to try the Moist Wrestling League live on YouTube. I just think that'd go so hard. Facebook sucks, man. Facebook is like the main platform I would rule out. That one is actual dog shit. That's not even a real streaming platform. I don't know why people even still bring up Facebook Live. That shit is an actual joke. Like an actual stinky joke. Yeah, like the Infinity Stones. True. Thanks to resub Skyrat and Andrew. Would you consider Rumble? I don't know. Rumble just has a legitimate problem with actual racism being its main export right now. Like, the main clips you see from Rumble are racist or hateful, like just actually hateful shit. I wouldn't really want to be at all tangled in that ecosystem. Kick has some real bad actors, but there are real content creators going to Kick because they want to make, special stuff, or it's where they went because they want to make a career out of streaming and Twitch just isn't viable at 50-50 or something like that. But there's a lot of degeneracy from Kick as well. I just don't think that's its whole identity yet. Whereas Rumble, that is its whole identity. Oh, Jesus Christ, Rod. Thank you for that big 50 drop, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Now, I do think Rumble recognizes that as a problem, which is why they have Kai, they have Speed, they have Gideon, they have Mizkif. I think they're trying to shift the public perception of what Rumble is, and I think that's just going to take some time. I think that's going to take a while. Like, they're going to have to, like, actively work towards getting rid of that reputation. How do you feel about Bruce egging Kai to go to kick? I mean, is that drama or something? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. For example, like, I play a lot of games on the PC. I definitely egg my friends to stop playing on, like, a console to play with me on PC. Like, I don't think that's a big deal. Oh, he was, yeah. I think Kai and Your Rage are at the Heat Nuggets game right now. It was the way he did it that upset people. Oh, was it weird? I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to get your friends to go where you are. But yeah, maybe he was weird about it. I haven't seen the clip. I don't know. Exit tier 1. Slow. And the resub Mare, Green, Stormy, and Man, and Pepper. You're going to make it to a Heat game this series. Brother, I wouldn't go to Miami for anything. Actually, nothing. I fucking hate Miami. Love the Heat, but I hate Miami. I think that city is absolutely miserable.